Rey Mysterio just destroyed his own blood. The legendary lookator, the man who's dedicated his entire career to family values and honor, the father who defended Dominik through years of criticism, just snapped and hit his own son with the most devastating 619 we've ever witnessed. And the words that came after. "You're dead to me," a father disowning his son in front of millions. This wasn't a wrestling move, this was a father's rage finally exploding after months of disrespect, betrayal, and humiliation. If you think this was just storyline drama, if you think Rey wasn't channeling real emotion, then you missed the tears streaming down his face as he stood over Dominik's broken body. Because what we witnessed on Raw wasn't entertainment, it was a family funeral. And I'm about to break down exactly why this moment will be remembered as one of the most brutal father-son confrontations in WWE history. Raw opened with Dominik Mysterio walking to the ring with that smug expression plastered across his face. The Intercontinental Championship draped over his shoulder like he earned it through talent instead of Judgment Day interference. The crowd was booing mercilessly, but Dominik was eating it up, blowing kisses, doing that arrogant strut that's made him the most hated man on Monday nights. Dominik grabbed a microphone. "Last week, my so-called father had the audacity to challenge me. Rey Mysterio thinks he can come back and reclaim his legacy through me. I am the legacy now. I'm the Mysterio that matters. I'm the champion. I'm the star. And Rey? Rey is just a broken-down old man living in the past." The disrespect was sickening. "So I'm issuing an open challenge tonight. I'll defend this Intercontinental Championship against anyone who thinks they deserve it. Anyone except the one person who keeps begging for my attention, my pathetic father." The crowd erupted in boos. How could Dominik be so cruel? Drop a comment right now. At what point did you realize Dominik had gone too far with disrespecting Rey? Rey Mysterio's music hit immediately. The crowd exploded. The master of the 619 walked out, but something was different. Rey wasn't doing his usual energetic entrance. He wasn't playing to the crowd. He walked down that ramp with purpose, with fury in his eyes. This wasn't the fun-loving Rey we know, this was a man who'd reached his breaking point. Dominik was laughing in the ring. Of course you come out here. You can't help yourself. You're obsessed with me, but I said anyone except you. Security. Get this old man out of my ring." WWE security started moving toward Rey, but Rey pushed through them. He slid into the ring and went face to face with his son. The tension was suffocating. Father and son, inches apart, Rey looking up at Dominik who'd grown taller than his legendary father. "Dominik, I'm giving you one chance. One final opportunity to stop this. To remember who you are. To remember the values I taught you. Don't make me do this." Rey's voice was shaking with emotion. Dominik laughed in his father's face. "Do what, old man? Hit me? You don't have it in you. You've gone soft. You've always been soft. That's why I left you behind. That's why I joined Judgment Day. Because they see strength where you only showed weakness." And then Dominik did the unforgivable, he shoved his father. Rey stumbled backward, and you could see something break inside him. 30 years of being a role model. 30 years of doing things the right way. 30 years of representing Lucha Libre with honor. All of it shattered in that moment. Rey looked at Dominik with an expression of pure heartbreak mixed with rage. "You want to know why I've been holding back? Why I haven't unleashed everything I'm capable of? Because you're my son. Because despite everything you've done, despite every insult, every betrayal, every humiliation, I still loved you. But you just crossed the line that can't be uncrossed. You're not my son anymore. You're dead to me." The crowd was silent. Those words hit like a bomb. Rey just disowned Dominik in front of the world. And before Dominik could respond, before he could even process what his father said, Rey struck. A kick to the gut. Irish whip into the ropes. Dominik bounced back and Rey dropped him with a dropkick that sent Dominik flying into the ropes. Second question for you, comment below, did Rey Mysterio have the right to attack his own son, or did he become the villain? Dominik was hung up on the middle rope, the perfect position for the 619. The crowd started chanting 619, 619, 619, but Rey hesitated. You could see the internal struggle. This was still his son, his flesh and blood. Could he really do this? Dominik looked up at his father, blood trickling from his mouth where he'd bitten his lip from the dropkick. And instead of apologizing, instead of showing any remorse, Dominik spit at his father. The disrespect was unbelievable. That was the final straw. Rey's face transformed from conflicted to determined. He hit the ropes and delivered the 619 with more force than we've ever seen. The impact was so violent that Dominik flipped completely over. He crashed to the mat holding his face, clearly in agony. But Rey wasn't finished. He climbed to the top rope. The crowd was on their feet. Rey launched himself for a frog splash, the move that's won him championships. The move his son had been mocking by using it himself. Rey crashed down on Dominik with all his weight. The impact echoed throughout the arena. Judgment Day started running down the ramp, Finn Balor, Damian Priest, Rhea Ripley, all coming to save their boy. But they were too late. Rey rolled out of the ring and grabbed a steel chair. The same chair Dominik had used to attack him weeks ago. Security was trying to hold Rey back, but the legendary lookator had become possessed. He fought through security, slid back into the ring, and as Dominik tried to crawl away, Rey smashed the chair across Dominik's back. Crack! The sound reverberated through the arena. Once, twice, 3 times. Each chair shot harder than the last. Judgment Day finally reached the ring and pulled Rey away, but the damage was done. Dominik was laying in the center of the ring, broken and bleeding. Rey stood at the top of the ramp, chair still in hand, tears streaming down his face, and screamed, "You're dead to me. You hear me? Dead to me." The camera zoomed in on Rey's face and you could see it. This wasn't acting. This wasn't kayfabe. This was real emotion. Years of watching his son turn into someone he didn't recognize. Years of public humiliation. Years of disrespect. It all came pouring out in that moment. Medical personnel rushed to check on Dominik while Judgment Day surrounded him. Rhea was checking if he was okay. Finn and Priest were looking toward Rey with murder in their eyes. This had just become personal in a way that changes everything. Third question, drop your prediction. How does this feud end? Submission match? Mask versus title? I quit match. Let's break down why this moment is so significant. Rey Mysterio has been one of WWE's most beloved figures for over 2 decades. He's the ultimate babyface, the hero who never gives up, the family man who represents everything good about wrestling. But tonight Rey showed his dark side, and the crowd's reaction was telling. They weren't booing Rey for the attack. They were cheering, because after months of watching Dominik disrespect his father, fans were ready to see Rey fight back. They wanted to see the legendary lookator unleash his fury. This wasn't a heel turn, this was justified vengeance. But here's where it gets complicated. By attacking Dominik the way he did, Rey has given Judgment Day ammunition. They can now claim Rey as the villain. That Rey attacked his own son unprovoked. That Rey is a bitter old man who can't handle his son's success. The narrative war is just beginning. Dominik is going to milk this for everything. He's going to play the victim. He's going to tell everyone his father assaulted him. He's going to use this attack to justify everything he's done. See, I told you my father was toxic. I was right to leave him. The manipulation has already started. But here's what WWE is brilliantly setting up. This can't end with just one match. This is a blood feud now. This requires multiple battles. We need to see these two destroy each other in different stipulations. Falls count anywhere. Submission match. Maybe even Mask versus Intercontinental Championship. The possibilities are endless. My prediction? This leads to a match at a major pay-per-view, maybe Royal Rumble or even WrestleMania, where the stipulation is career-altering. Winner takes the Mysterio name? Loser leaves WWE? Mask versus title? Something with stakes that make this feel like the most important match in both their careers. And here's the emotional core. Can a father ever truly hurt his son the way Dominik has hurt Rey? Can Rey actually disown Dominik, or is that just anger talking? And for Dominik, does some part of him realize he pushed too far? Or is he so consumed by arrogance that he can't see what he's lost? The storytelling here is masterful because it's tapping into real emotions. Every parent watching this felt Rey's pain. Every child who's disappointed their parents understands the weight of "you're dead to me." These aren't just wrestling characters, they're a family tearing itself apart. And Judgment Day's role becomes crucial. Are they genuinely supporting Dominik, or are they going to manipulate this situation for their own gain? Do they want father and son to destroy each other because it keeps Dominik under their control? Rhea, Finn, and Priest aren't known for their loyalty. What happens when Dominik is no longer useful? Here's another layer. What if Rey's attack was exactly what Dominik wanted? What if Dominik has been pushing his father specifically to get this reaction? Because now Dominik can play victim, gain sympathy, and justify his heel actions. My father tried to end my career. Of course I'm angry. Of course I fight dirty. It's psychological warfare at its finest. The wrestling world is exploding with reactions. Social media is divided between Rey did what he had to do and Rey went too far. WWE has created genuine debate. That's what great storytelling does. It makes you question who's right and who's wrong. This also opens doors for other superstars to get involved. Does someone step in to defend Rey? Does someone try to mentor Dominik back to the right path? Do former tag partners or rivals insert themselves into this family war? The ripple effects could reshape Raw's entire landscape. And let's talk about the in-ring implications. When these two finally have their match, it's going to be brutal. Rey isn't going to hold back anymore. He's going to hit Dominik with every move he knows. And Dominik? Dominik is going to be fighting for his life because an angry Rey Mysterio is one of the most dangerous performers in wrestling history. The 619 tonight was just a warning. the chair shots were just the beginning. When these two meet in a sanctioned match, we're going to see violence on a level we've never witnessed from Rey Mysterio. Because when you disown your son, when you say you're dead to me, there's no mercy left. Only vengeance. Share this video because Rey destroying Dominik is the most emotional moment of the year. Comment whether you think Rey was justified or if he crossed a line. Like if you want to see these two in a brutal stipulation match. Subscribe to Wrestling World CC because we're covering every development in this family war. Rey Mysterio just did the unthinkable. He hit his own son with a devastating 619. He attacked Dominik with a chair. He declared "You're dead to me" in front of millions. A father disowned his son. A legend showed his dark side. And Dominik Mysterio just learned the most painful lesson: you can only push a man so far before he breaks. This feud is